Yo, what is up, my radical broskies? Welcome back to the radical 80s instruction video about the games of the future, Mario Kart DS. In this instructional tape, I'm gonna be teaching you how to play Mario Kart DS and have an opinion on it. Let's get started. Everybody loves Mario Kart, and if you don't, you're not everybody. Seriously, I dare you to find one person under like 40 who hasn't at the very least touched a Mario Kart game in their lifetime. It is easily one of the most accessible games ever. Mario Kart's a game franchise that I really respect, in the sense that anybody can pick it up and play it, yet not everyone can master it. It's a perfect mix of strategy and luck. Sometimes random items can get pelted at you, for example, and you can't always help that, but you can gain true skill through using items to your advantage and or defense. To put it simply, it's a good, accessible franchise, and having such an accessible franchise obviously means yo, every console gets one. Every single Nintendo console since the SNES has had a Mario Kart on it, as long as you don't count the Game Boy Color as a console. And each Mario Kart is generally pretty different from each game. There's small differences in terms of gameplay, physics, controls, and putting them side by side, you can definitely tell the difference between each game, but at their core, it's still Mario Kart, and it's become a tradition for Nintendo. I've already talked about Mario Kart Wii and how much I absolutely adore that game, but what about Mario Kart DS? This right here is the Mario Kart of my childhood, and I adore it so much. You know the game you played on road trips, or when you were pretending to be asleep when your parents come to check on you, but you were really just playing your DS? Yeah, that was this game for me. This is a really special little entry to the franchise that I think a lot of people sort of forget about, which sucks because it had a lot of good ideas. In its time, it was extremely popular though, because it was during the whole popularity of the Wii and DS, which were consoles that appealed to everybody, even casual players. So obviously you put one of the most popular gaming series on two of the best consoles, and that's a recipe for a best-selling game. So why don't we go all the way back to 2004 when Nintendo first said, fine, and said they were making a Mario Kart on the DS and showed off some gameplay footage. There aren't really very much differences from this gameplay demo outside of the logo. The first logo has something more like the Double Dash logo and all others before it, while the final one goes for something different, a more race car feel rather than a more Mario feel. I'm personally okay with either, but I think the first one had a little more charm to it. It felt more like fun kart racer, which is kind of what I think about when I think about Mario Kart. This is the style they've been using from this point forward, but I'm honestly okay with that. After that, in 2005 at the Game Developers Conference, the game was open for the public to try out. There they also showed off the wireless multiplayer and the game running at a full 60 frames per second with full 3D models, all running on a handheld, which was absolutely insane at the time. Mario Kart DS was also the first game to feature online multiplayer, which would also be there in all future Mario Karts. Apparently Nintendo was a little stingy with the online play at first though, due to a lot of negative connotations at the time. I guess they didn't want some 12-year-old to get hit with a red shell and then talk about having intercourse with the other kid's mom or something, I don't know.
Your mom's voice! It sounds like you just deep-throated a cow.
Like a voice modulator.
Yeah, I deep-throated your mom. That doesn't make sense.
While it was really cool they added online play at all, it was still limited in that you couldn't send messages to other players or even pre-made ones. This Mario Kart is also the first one to have 8-player multiplayer, where if you have 7 friends that also have Mario Kart, you can play together. With this game being on the DS, Nintendo originally wanted to find a way to utilize both screens, and tampered with the idea of using the map on the bottom screen to place an item anywhere on the track, instead of just behind you, but they scrapped the idea because they didn't want too many distractions while playing. Alright dudes, I'm about to put some science on you. Blue fire is hotter than orange fire. In Mario Kart Double Dash, they had it orange, then blue when you drifted, because blue is hotter than, you know, orange. And then in the DS, they changed that, so now it's blue then orange. What the fuck is up with that? Mario Kart DS finally released in North America on November 14th, 2005, and was met with critical acclaim. The game was heavily praised for its graphics, gameplay, and focus on single player. So Mario Kart DS, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for this one, but I've never really thought of it as one of my favorites. But as I've gotten older, I have grown to love a lot of the greatness laying inside this game. Not to mention there's a lot in here that would become mainstays for the series. So why don't we play it again and see what is up with it? This This is rad. It's probably just nostalgia or something, but I love this title screen. It's pretty generic visually on the top screen, but the sound, the music, the way the icons look are all great. I also really like how easy this title screen is to navigate. It's so easy to get from place to place, and it is made really well. We are then treated with the option to make a custom emblem for our cart, which is so cool. We don't have to have the character logos on our cart, we can draw whatever we want. It even comes with a whole bunch of pre-made shapes to pick from. This is such a cool feature in my opinion. I cannot wait to draw crude images on here. You know, come to think of it, that's probably the reason Nintendo was afraid to do online play at first. Speaking of that, maybe we can try the online portion. If it was still available. Okay, well, at least we can still play the single player mode. Damn, look at all these modes we can play. We'll cover all of them, but let's start with the basic Grand Prix. So we have a pretty basic selection of characters, just the standard Mario characters, but we are also able to unlock some other characters. Drybone's a newcomer, unlockable by completing all Nitro tracks in first place on 50cc. Daisy, do the same thing but with retro tracks. Waluigi, first place in all tracks in 100cc. And finally, the star of the show, and most challenging to unlock. Rob the Robot, unlockable by getting first in either all retro or all Nitro tracks in every engine class. This was the first time Nintendo really messed around with the idea of having non-Mario characters in Mario Kart. Okay, I mean, technically the first non-Mario Kart character was Pac-Man if we count the arcade games, but those aren't really mainline Mario Karts, so Rob it is. Just a little theory, but it kind of seems to me like they wanted to add a non-Mario character, but didn't want to go too crazy yet. So they went with Rob since he's an NES accessory. Rob doesn't have his own game series, nor is he from any specific game, so it kind of feels like they felt like he was a good addition. In terms of my stance on non-Mario characters in Mario Kart, I'm okay with it for the most part. It's cool to see cameos of people from other games on here, as long as they stay as cameos. I just kind of feel like if it got too wild and we just had a bunch of non-Mario characters in the series, then it would start to feel like not Mario Kart. So I like them, but I think the amount we're at now is perfect, maybe a couple more. But I don't really want to see it get too wild, that's all I'm saying. But I like Rob being here, he's a pretty fun little addition. Now we gotta pick a cup. I could just be a normal person and pick one and see. Or... okay, let's get this over with. So let's start with the Mushroom Cup, Figure 8 Circuit, the standard basic starting track of the game. It's not based on any specific character like they usually are. It's pretty alright, nothing too special though. Next up is Yoshi Falls. I like this one. It's nothing too special, but I like the whole waterfall theme they got going on. You can go off the side here that helps you get around it a little faster, and sometimes the waterfall will drop items, but you have to be careful because the water may push you down the ledge. I enjoy Cheep Cheep Beach too, a nice tropical island resort track. I enjoy that it goes into this little palm tree forest area like a quarter of the way through. Luigi's Mansion is also pretty awesome. You race through a haunted house based on the Luigi's Mansion games, and there's a haunted forest with these walking trees. I love it. Now we move on to the Flower Cup, starting with Desert Hills. It's okay. It's just a basic little desert track. It's not really anything too special. Next up we got Delfino Square. It's meant to be a town track with the Delfinos from Mario Sunshine. It's pretty alright. It's not one of my favorites, but I appreciate the Sunshine reference. Finally, we got Shroom Ridge, a highway track. I quite like this one. It gives me a nice nostalgic feeling. It reminds me of going on road trips as a kid because it's a highway track. It's pretty neat. Star Cup, we got Donkey Kong Pass. I always loved how a lot of Donkey Kong themed tracks in the past had awesome ramps and stuff that you could do tricks off of, and this track is no exception. Tick-Tock Clock, a classic Mario Kart track based off the Mario 64 course. So creative to make a track that takes place on the interior of a clock. I love it. Mario Circuit, it's okay. I think it's more creative than other Mario Circuit tracks, but it's still a pretty basic, you know, circuit track. Finally, for the Star Cup, we got Airship Fortress. Okay, so I hope that what I'm about to explain to you makes sense, but if not, I'm sorry, I'm weird. You know those little things from your childhood that kind of gave you a spooky aura, but it wasn't like traumatic? Like you thought it was kind of spooky, but your younger self kind of liked it still, but you didn't really know why? Maybe you liked it because it was spooky? I don't know. Well, for me, that was Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell and Airship Fortress. To be fair, Somebody's Watching Me is like a song about paranoia, but I didn't know that, okay? I like this one too. I think it's supposed to be based on the Mario 3 airship courses, but like, is spookier, which is really neat. Finally, we got the Special Cup, Wario Stadium. I like it for the theme of the track. It's cool to race in like a stadium like this, but as a track, it's just okay. Peach Gardens, I have kind of a weird relationship with this track. It's a good track, but every time it goes to it, I just sigh in disappointment. It's not my favorite, but like, I don't really have any reason to hate it. I just do. Now for the final two, a staple of the Mario Kart series, Bowser's Castle and Rainbow Road. Bowser's Castle is pretty cool. I like how it has a more menacing tone to it and how it feels like a track filled with traps. It suits Bowser very well. And Rainbow Road, this one's a tad more experimental than the past Rainbow Roads. They tried some new things with it, like this loop thing and... okay, that's kind of it, but it's a big part of the track, okay? God!
Get off my f***ing back, man!
I like this one. It's not the best Rainbow Road track, but it's decent enough. This is also the first Mario Kart to introduce retro tracks, which is pretty cool.
So that's all the tracks that they introduced in Mario Kart DS. Except it's not, because I saved the best track for last!
The third course in the Flower Cup contains my favorite course ever in Mario Kart history, Waluigi Pinball, a course themed around Waluigi that takes place inside a pinball machine. This is such a creative idea. The obstacles and variations of theming throughout the entire course is absolutely perfect. This is, in my opinion, the best Mario Kart course of all time. Mario Kart DS also introduced 2 new items to the series that would end up staying. The Bullet Bill. If you're not doing so good, this item basically speeds you up past the other players. Basically,
God, just give him something, Jesus. Here.
And the Blooper, an item people either really like or really hate. I'm okay with it because it's made to be an inconvenience to other players, which is kind of, you know, the point of most items. And I think it's a pretty clever way to do so. Okay, now that we've done a round of the game's Grand Prix, maybe we can check out some of these other modes. Let's do the battle mode, as it's kind of a Mario Kart staple, and after playing it, it's battle mode. I honestly don't really have much to say about it. It's balloon battle. Keep your balloons while trying to hit other players or use a mushroom to take theirs. They added this new thing where if you blow into the microphone, you can get some more balloons, but it only works sometimes, probably just so you don't, like, abuse it. And shine battle. Get as many shines as you can. Again, I like the sunshine reference. It's fun, it's battle mode, but it's not really much different than the other ones. Like, they really didn't do anything different to make it stand out. Now, I like the courses in battle mode. Oh, god damn it. Nintendo DS, really cool that we're able to race on a DS that's also playing Mario Kart. I like it. Twilight House, same kind of Airship Fortress vibes with this one. I like it. Falling down the sledge would be horrifying in real life. Pipe Plaza, another cool one. Going through pipes that teleport you through other areas of the track. That's fun, damn it. Block Fort, it's okay. It's just kind of a standard battle track, but it's good, I guess. Tart Top, this one always made me hungry. I love the aesthetic of it, and I want to eat this food so badly. Bouncing around on these strawberries was always so fun, even though you weren't technically supposed to. And finally, Palm Shore. It's pretty lame. There's nothing really special about it, in my opinion. Next up, we got the mode that made Mario Kart DS stand out from every other game in the franchise. The mode that put this game on the map. Mission mode. This is such an amazing addition. So what it is basically a bunch of single player mini games that take advantage of the Mario Kart gameplay, with stuff like driving through gates, hitting enemies with items, driving out of a course in reverse, etc. There are 7 levels throughout the whole mode, with each having about 8 missions. And at the end of each level, you would fight a boss. I love that. It's like its own little Mario game. It's awesome. Mario Kart's an amazing series, but it always kind of sucked that there was never much in terms of single player content. If you wanted to play Mario Kart alone, you were basically limited to unlocking stuff, playing online, playing the Grand Prix and Versus mode, and that's about it. But mission mode actually gives people who wanted to play Mario Kart themselves something to actually do. When I was younger, none of my friends were really interested in Nintendo stuff, and they didn't really have any DS's. So if I wanted to play Mario Kart, I had to play it by myself, and this mode was amazing for that. I'm honestly disappointed and a little surprised that they never brought the mode back, or at least some form of it. It got a lot of praise and didn't really seem that hard to develop, and it remained only in Mario Kart DS, which kind of sucks. Oh well, maybe someday they'll bring it back. God damn it. Now, like I said before, Mario Kart DS was also the first game in the series to have online play and wireless local multiplayer. Both would end up becoming staples for the series. In the last handheld Mario Kart Super Circuit, you were able to do local multiplayer, but it was really complicated. If you wanted to play multiplayer, everyone would need to have their own Game Boy Advance, then you would need, at most, 4 GBA link cables, depending on how many people were playing, and then you'd have to plug them all into a GameCube, and everybody needed their own copy of the game. But with Mario Kart DS, you only needed at the very least 4 DS bosses and one copy of the game, due to a cool little thing the DS had called Download Play. With Download Play, one person had the game and everyone else could download a limited version of the game to play with friends. If everyone had their own copy, you had access to the whole game in multiplayer, but if they didn't, you could only play in Mario Circuit and Figure 8 Circuit, and everybody has to play as Shy Guy. Like I said, it was extremely limited, but it was still a really cool way to play with friends if they didn't have their own version of the game. And the online mode. This was a little bit more limited than the other future online modes in Mario Kart. You couldn't play in battle mode and you could only race against like 4 people. They obviously fleshed this out more in future games, but the term online play was still a kind of spooky, forbidden word to Nintendo at the time, so they were still pretty strict on it. So that was Mario Kart DS, and overall, I love this game. Man, after replaying this, I had such a fun time with it. I have so many great memories with this game, and there's so much that they did right. I remember being a kid, playing it on road trips, playing past my bedtime, or just coming home after school to play it. I've said before that Mario Kart Wii is my favorite Mario Kart, but I think as time goes on, I've started to like this one a little bit more. That's what I love about this franchise, is that each entry is different from each other, but they all still feel totally at home in the Mario Kart franchise. They're all Mario Kart, so the one everybody labels as their favorite is so different. I'll say this, I think that Mario Kart Wii is still the best one. There's so much that game just did so right with the characters, the courses, all that. But Mario Kart DS might be my new favorite one. I don't know, maybe it's just nostalgia, but I love everything about this one, and I think it was perfect for what they tried to do. And mix that with the memories I have of it, and it's absolutely great. That's right, my opinion changed. What are y'all gonna fight me now?
So now you know how to be me with an opinion on Mario Kart DS. And just remember not to copy any instructions that you found out in this instructional video. And why don't you have a very nice day in this decade that we call the 1980s. Goodbye. Well, now I know.